we summoned Dr. Osaya Oduchum, the Minister for Education, in his office, that, Doc, show us evidence that what President Mahama said is not true. The first part of the interview is President Mahama also said that WASI, Ghana is no longer part of WASI, something like that. He was making the point that the results are just, you know, when all of us wrote our exams, whether it's JSS or SS or O-level, we write with the West Africa Examinations Council. So the exam you take is taken in Nigeria, is taken in Sierra Leone, in Anglophone West Africa. President Mahama alleged that Ghana is no longer part of WASI. As a result, Ghana is able to manipulate its figures and manipulate its exams and show that people are passing, ostensibly to show that free SHS is working. This is how the education minister responded to that one. Hear him.
First of all, let me thank you for giving me the opportunity to explain our side of the story. In fact, I want to say that as a human being, President Mahama doesn't have to know everything. But when you are running for president, you have to get some good briefing. Obviously, when it comes to Ghana's participation in the WASI, he's wrong. It's not true that we've pulled out. We are part of WASI.
WASI or WAEC? Which is
WASI. See, WAEC is the examining body. WASI is the exams. All West Africa.
So like the GCO level?
Yes, the Anglophone West Africa participating in the same exams. And if you look at what happened last year, every year they select 3 top students. 2 of them were from Ghana. If we are not part of WASI, how the 2 Ghanaian students from St. James topped the WASI?
Oh, I see. So the exam that we write in WASI, Nigerians write the same exam.
The same exam, Sierra Leone, Liberia,
they all write
Gambia.
the same questions.
No, actually, there's some variation because there are some exams that Ghana does alone. For example, integrated science. It's a Ghanaian exam.
But it's set by WAEC.
WAEC. So examiners in all the West African countries. So there's some chief examiner for, let's say, chemistry may be from Ghana. But the social studies may be from Nigeria. Another question, subject area may be from another country. So they call something standardization. There are 2 options open to countries. If because of some exigencies, you will not be able to test with the entire West Africa, then the West African chief examiners come together and they set the questions for you, for that particular country. So what it means is that you are doing similar questions just like any other nation, but your time may be a bit different from the rest of the countries in the sub-region. So what happened to Ghana was simply this. During the COVID era, in fact, Ghana decided to test when the other countries said they were not going to. And somehow, later on, they joined.
Ghana decided to test what?
During the COVID era. 2020, 2019. Remember when in the peak of the COVID, some countries felt like it was not safe enough
to do the exam.
Ghana decided that we'll do the exams, and later on the other countries joined us, and we did the 2019, we did the 2020 together with the entire West Africa. Now, when it goes to 21, our calendar had become a bit different. We were going to school from January, ending in December. So if we were going to test with the other countries, what it meant was that our students were only going to be prepared for 4 months. January, February, March, April, because exams begin in May, the practicals, and then you finish in June. So the question that was posed to us by WAEC was, if you are not testing with that because you don't want to use 4 months preparing your students, then you're going to go through the same exams regimes that they call standardization. The examiners are going to be the same WAEC examiners. Your questions are going to be the same level of difficulty. And when it comes to selection of the top students, you are going to be part of the selection just like...
Just that we take our exam in December?
In December. No, we actually do it in August, September.
Oh, we take our exam in August, September.
And we do it that way because... And that was the reason why we decided to open school this year in December.
Okay. So that our students are recovering faster from COVID than other West African students.
Because our students are getting the accurate number of instructional hours to prepare for the exam. Some of the country decided that they didn't really bother. So if it's 4 months, they will do 4 months.
Yeah.
So they just wanted normalcy without looking
but we were determined to give our students adequate preparation.
To do it. So now what has happened to us is that if you look at what our students have done, they've done very well. And now within the next 1 year to 2 years, then we'll come back because our calendar will have done a reset of the calendar so that June testing becomes possible for Ghana. And that's why I want to open schools in December. I know there were some hue and cry about why open school in December, but now we are positioning ourselves to be able to open school in September in the following academic years.
So that we are back to normal.
We are back to normal.
So you are suggesting that this is what President Mahama's policy advisors had misinterpreted as misunderstood?
No, the thing is this. I don't think there should be no misinterpretation, no misunderstanding. Just talk to WAEC. You call WAEC and say, WAEC, is Ghana still part of WASI? So I think it's a case of propaganda because they wanted to find something to undercut the great achievement of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo's WASI performance. And if you look at what is going on here, it's just a case of propaganda to undercut us because there's no other way. If you want to say something factual, WAEC is headquartered in this country. If you don't want to go there, if you call as a former president, somebody will come to your house and brief you. And they will have told him that Ghana is part of the whole WASI exams. So for him to go out there and talk about that we are testing differently and Ghana has its own set of questions, ask WAEC, Mr. Former President, former Vice President, just call WAEC and ask them, what is the nature? It's a bit technical, so maybe he doesn't understand. But my concern is that if you are running for president, can you get some adequate briefing? He won't call me, but if he calls me, I'll brief him. But at minimum, call WAEC and find out. So WAEC will be able to tell him that Mr. Former President, Ghana is part of WASI. So his statement is not accurate.
Will Parliament have this information? Because Dr. Clement Apak seems to agree with President Mahama.
Clement Apak choose to agree with what President Clement Apak wants to agree, Dr. Clement Apak.
Yes,
the point of the matter is this. You see, that is what I call the nature of slash and bend politics in our country. It happens around the world, but Ghana cannot afford slash and bend politics. The politics that says, even if my opponent is doing well, I'll cut him into pieces, bend him, and let the world think that he's the worst that the country has ever known, so that I can be elected. It's called slash and bend politics. The slash and bend politics is what President Mahama is doing. He wants Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo to look so bad that people will say, hey, he's so bad, so I'm better. Mahama is better. But when it comes to education, President Mahama, his accomplishment cannot be compared to that of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo.
Okay, so that's the first video. We continue with the second video where Dr. Educhum is responding to us on the video we played about President Mahama says the students are cheating. For the avoidance of doubts and for those who just joined us, we have played the Mahama video already. We'll play it again because it sits in direct contest and contrast with what Dr. Educhum told us relating to the answer on the question of whether students were cheating or not. Later on, we'll play another video for you where Dr. Educhum explains why students are doing well. Because yes, if students are doing significantly well, the Ministry of Education must be able to tell us why. If they had planned this so, if it's a planned something, if it's not just, it didn't just happen and they are aware of how it happened, then they should be able to tell us why are we having such results. And then we will talk about the STEM that he's doing. He has something to say about that. And then Mr. Bright Simmons, Franklin Kujo's partner at Imani and my very, very good friend, had occasion to say something on Twitter in support of President Mahama, using some figures. You know, Bright Simmons is a data cruncher. So he used some figures, and it would appear that on this occasion, he got us wrong. But wait and see it first before you agree with me. Now, though, let's go back to President Mahama's video. It will come back, and I'll link you straight to Dr. Educhum's response directly on the allegation by the former president that students were cheating.
Many places, one checking Kwadano, they let the children cheat freely. You go to places, and the teachers are conniving with the children to cheat. the effect of this will be seen later. Because you certify these children, you say he's of this standard, either basic BECE or SSCE, and that child will use that certificate, go abroad to a school, and they'll find that in Ghana your qualification is not up to what you say it is. It is going to affect this nation. They think we're just doing it. Anytime the results come, you say, oh, the children have performed better than they ever performed before. You know, and we all know what is happening in the system. Actually, I know you're teacher for, we will reorder things so that things are done properly.
Okay, so that's President Mahama. This is Dr. Educhum's direct response.
President Mahama wants to do slash and burn politics. He wants to undercut the great feat chalked by the children of this country, the teachers of this country, the parents of this country, and that is very unfortunate. There's no truth in his allegations, because let's take a look at the number of subjects that were cancelled, the percentage of subjects, one or more subject that was cancelled.
Okay, so it's coming from the
WAEC.
It's coming from the cancellations.
Yes.
So were results cancelled?
In 2014.
No, I mean the recent one.
Of course, every exam should get a few cancelled.
How do they? At the O level they used to cancel.
They used to cancel.
What I remember is maybe you take maths, English, physics for us science students, and then you hear on radio that the maths, English, and physics has been cancelled. The new date is so and so. We remain in the school, and then we take the exam.
That is very different cancellation. This is the cancellation after the results come out, because when they are grading it, they may detect some anomalies.
So after the results have come,
some schools
they call a candidate. They say your results have been cancelled as an individual.
Oh, it used to happen during our time too.
Really?
Oh yeah. Maybe your school you went to.
We have the cancellation of the subjects, which we all go and take again.
No. Presec is not used to getting subjects cancelled.
But how do people get the subject cancelled? Individual results cancelled. How do?
In a classroom, they may see a situation where there's collusion between two candidates, and there's a clear.
And they observe that from the marking.
Yeah, from the marking. So examiners flag distance.
Oh, I see that these two candidates may have connived.
And then they will analyze it and see, they connived because they are repeating the same thing. If
they are making the same mistakes.
It's a comma, the same mistakes. Or there may be situations where they copied and they literally copied from the same sheet. So examiners are able to flag those things.
I see.
And they are able to determine that you truly cheated. Sometimes the students may even leave the paper that they copied from in the answer booklet. Accidentally. So they are able to catch them and say your paper is
so this
cancelled.
cancellation we're talking about, the results have been published. You are candidate X. You are going back to your school for us. They say, no, your results are cancelled. Go to WAEC.
It has been happening.
Okay.
It has been happening.
Okay.
But the thing is this. In 2014, 0.82% of students, where is the minimum number, by the way? 0.82% of students have one or more subjects cancelled. In 2014, under President Mahama,
0.82. 0.82.
0.82.
Less than 1%.
Less than 1%. Okay. And in 2023, 0.81 got their subject cancelled, one or more subject cancelled.
But that's close.
0.82, 0.81.
0.82 is more
than 0.81.
Yes.
So if he wants to make a case about cancellations, right? And I think Bryce Simmons also came up with a tweet regarding that. If you do the mathematical analysis, more people got their subjects cancelled under President Mahama than under 2023.
But let's go to the equation of the denominator. The denominator will be the number of students, isn't it?
You see,
2014 number of students and 2023. I'm expecting 23 should be more.
It's a difference, but the percentage is what you look at so that you can compare. Otherwise, you can't compare.
But if you use the percentage, then in terms of real numbers,
the real numbers,
2014 because show
more people wrote the exams
in 23.
Yes. So that is why if you want to compare, you use the percent.
So 23, where more people wrote the exam, cancellation was lower than 14. Several years later.
So the point of the matter is that, and that's why I'm saying that essentially, it's a matter of not being briefed.
Well, but is the cancellation the basis of collusion?
I mean, that is the point.
Teachers helping students. That's his allegation. Really.
That's the allegation that he's making.
Yeah.
But the bottom line for me is this. If those subjects are cancelled, they are not part of the results. Right? So if there's collusion and the subjects were cancelled,
it doesn't be taken care of.
Yes, it doesn't make your
so that the result as it stands is sacrosanct.
That is it.
So your analysis about whether people cheated or not is neither here nor there.
No, it's neither here nor there.
Because the cheating has been found and cancelled.
Cancelled.
So it's like you go to a football match and you score 2 disallowed goals.
Yes.
And you lose the game by 1-0. Then you say, I won 2-1.
Yeah.
But the goals were disallowed. So they are not part of. Or you say that the game was fraudulent because the goals were disallowed.
So at the end of the day, it's neither here nor there. You see, the point of the matter is this, and I'm so happy when I look at the results. If you look at 28.7,
this 2015,
2015, 7 years under NDC, and 7 years under MPP.
Is that a pass rate we are looking at? Yes. Percentage of candidates obtaining A1 to C. That's the pass rate.
That's actually the credit.
Yeah, the credit.
If you add the pass and D7 and everything,
yes, so this up to credit.
Yeah, credit. So if you look at
in 2015, these are language subject areas.
Yeah, subject areas.
So English language, 42% passed.
45.2.
45.2. Sorry.
And
23,
73.11.
Oh, that's a significant rise.
Then you go. So this is why it cannot be by accident, right?
Really
you go to integrated
science, 28% passing in 2015. 2023, 66.82.
It cannot be an accident. It cannot be by chance. You go to maths.
32% passing in 2015.
And then
that's abysmal. 32% only got credits.
Yeah.
32% in mathematics.
Yes.
2015.
Yes.
Of the people who wrote the exam in Ghana.
And science was even worse, 28.
And maths is more disappointing. This core maths.
No, core maths.
So this is not elective maths.
No, core. And with that is they can't move up.
32% only are passing.
Yeah. And they couldn't move up. And now it's 62.
Even 62 is not that satisfactory.
Yeah, of course. And
as
a mathematics teacher, I know we can do more.
Yeah, 62 is not that great.
And we're going to do more. But look, it was 32.
Yeah.
And now 62. Then
social studies was
57.4.
Well, it's not good, it's above 50%.
Yeah.
And now you have it at 76.
Yeah, that was the only subject that was above 50%. So when you see the red, it means that year those subjects were below 50%, below 50%, below 50%. Now free senior high school graduates started coming out and everything was above 50%.
That's interesting. And so for 2020, when the first senior high school wrote first free SHS wrote the exam.
Yes.
All the core subjects, English, integrated science, math, and social studies, candidates were doing above 50%.
And it has
the global scores.
And it has been like that ever since. That cannot be by chance. It cannot be by accident. It has nothing to do with any cheating. Because if you cheat, why can guarantee you that you're going to be caught? So at the end of the day, this is not about cheating. It's not also because we are not part of WASI, because we are part of WASI. So at the end of the day, trying to undercut, trying to destroy the nation's credibility in exams because you can't stand the fact that the students have done better than when you were in government is something we have to avoid as a nation. I believe that just like you were saying about the mathematics, he can say that, hey, 62, I can do it 80. But don't go